over to the clock. We are recording.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Plumbing Piping Work Examining Board meeting. Today is October 20th, 2022. I would ask board members to look at the agenda, the draft minutes of our last meeting on July 28th and see if there's any changes. I have found on the last page, if everybody had seen the 2022 current board member meeting schedule, that's incorrect. It's on the very last page. It says August 9th, October 4th, and December 6th. That's not accurate. Is there any other changes that the board needs to make changes to? I'll ask for a motion to approve. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
A second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain? Deny? So moved. Okay, all right, so we're good there. The agenda for today, there's a, I'd like to move up a little bit here if I could. We have two new board members that has been appointed by the governor this week. I would like to introduce them. If we could have Cynthia Fernandez swear them in so they can participate in the meeting sooner than later, that would be great. We'll start out with Cynthia. This will be Joseph J. Pulicia Jr. As a contractor board member, and Carlton Pember will be sworn in this morning. Would you like to start with Mr. Pulicia, and then I will introduce the members after the swearing in so they can discuss who they are. That's okay.
Good morning. Yes, thank you. So I'm thinking I can swear both of them in at the same time. I can just insert both their names to the oath. It's nice to have them both on camera so that we can confirm that they're raising their right hand. I can see Mr. Pulicia, but is Mr. Pember on and I just don't see him, or?
Yeah, Mr. Pulicia, I have him in the center screen. Both gentlemen are currently on silent, on mute. If you two gentlemen would mind to unmute your self there, great, appreciate that. Cynthia, you have the floor.
Okay, great, thank you. So if you could both raise your right hand. Right, so do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, Carlton Pember and Joseph Pulicia, that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as Plumbing and Piping Work Examining Board members to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I will.
I will.
All right, great, thank you. You're both official. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank
Chip,
you.
long time no see. Great to
I
see you again.
know. Good to see you.
And Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Great, I'd like to introduce each gentleman. We'll start out with Carlton Pember, AKA Chip. First, if you want to introduce yourself to the board and your, if you want to have a brief statement about yourself, if you want to.
Yes. I'm, first of all, I'd like to thank the governor for the opportunities to be on the board. Looking forward to it. And over the years, have worked with many of you. As a lot of you know, I was a teacher at Norwich Technical High School and a department head there. And I really would like to promote our trade in the state of Connecticut, as I think it's important. So thank you very much for the opportunity, Governor.
Welcome aboard, Chip.
Thanks.
Joe Pulicia.
Yes, I also want to thank the governor and for the opportunity to serve with these distinguished members here of the Plumbing and Piping Board. I also am a retired teacher from the Connecticut Technical High School system. I was at Platt Tech in Milford. Before that, I pretty much grew up in the trades. My father had a sheet metal shop, worked with him and got myself licensed. I ended up in business for myself and still conducting business as a heating and air conditioning contractor, plumbing contractor. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity to help the industry, especially with education and the needs of our industry, to promote our industry.
Thank you, Joe. Welcome aboard, Joe. Welcome, gentlemen. Great, we'll move on now. We're going to go to our DCP Investigation Division report. The report is an update from July 1st of 22 through August 31st of 22. I believe we have Janita and Pam here.
Pamela Brown. At first, I'd like to introduce John Mesner, our new occupational trades manager. And do that before the report.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you, Pam. John Mesner is on mute and we can't see him either. There we go. Thanks, John. Welcome aboard, John.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Pember, welcome. So I'm going to go back and just give a brief overview. So myself, personally, I'm a tech school graduate. Worked in the trade up until I think it was 2004 when I too taught for the technical high school system. I taught for the technical high school system until I think it was 2011, 2012 when I joined DCP as a inspector and maintained in that role until I left DCP to pursue with another agency still within the state as a building official. And I worked that until just 2 weeks ago when I returned back to DCP to take this role. So again, it's good to see some familiar faces. Chairman, you as well. And Mr. Valenti, how are you? So everybody else, look forward to working with you.
Thanks, John. Welcome back to the department.
Thank you.
So just to explain the role, it's a little bit different from Hurlbert's role. So John will be a part of the investigations team as a manager. He will serve as a subject matter expert on occupational trades for the department staff. He will manage the equivalency process for out-of-state applicants, also known as the working groups, oversee exam development for the trades testing program, and attend board meetings. So thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Great. Does anybody have any questions at this time for Pam in reference to John's position or anything like that? Okay, having none, I believe we can move on to the complaint report at this time.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. You have the report in front of you. And
Yes.
as you said, it is for the time frame for July 1st of 2022 through August 31st of 2022. At the end of October, I will be running the next 2-month time frame report. And as you can see, we received 10 new files during that time, and 2 files were closed during that time.
Great. Does anybody have any questions for Janita at this time in reference to those 2 people or cases? Having none. Thank you, Janita, for attending today and introducing with Pam, John Mesner. We look forward to working with John. And if John has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. I'm always available. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. And welcome to the 2 new board members as well. Looking forward to working with you in the future.
Joe's on mute. Chip's on mute as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Chip, could you hear us?
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my mute didn't unmute.
No worries.
Thank
no
you very
worries.
much.
Yep, it happens. Okay, thank you. Okay, move on to old business, Public Act 22-104, and act concerning cannabis advertising, Department of Consumer Protection's recommendations regarding various revisions to the consumer protection statutes. There's a reference to a link there. I didn't have a chance to look at that link to see what that is. However, action item, the board to discuss their review of the link provided by Ms. Lehman at the 28th meeting with focus on noted page 59. under chapter 393, section on continuing education. Does anybody have that document printed out at all, or I don't have a copy of that information. Does anybody have that?
No, I'm sorry, I do not. That was something that was carried over, and Karen is not in attendance. She was invited, so she may have something else going on today.
No problem, Shannon. If we could have that document sent to board members, that way we can put it on the next agenda for the next meeting.
So you want page 59 from that?
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I'll try to follow up with you and Karen as to what that all was there. So that way the board is familiar with it. This is a different layout than we're normally seeing. So we'll work on that. Does the board members have any questions? Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Thanks. Okay, and then we're continually reviewing the state occupational trade licenses for determination of the Connecticut occupational trade licenses as well. This month, we had no applications in front of the working group, just so you know. There were no applications. Usually we have 2, 3, or 4. This month, we had none. Is there any new business at this time for anybody?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Mr. Alfieri.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hey, Alfieri. Welcome to the new guys. Chip, I don't know if you remember me. I used to go to the TTAC committee meetings with Frank years ago. And
Yes,
somehow,
I remember. It's good
we
to
did
see you.
meet. So welcome. Nice to see you. And Joe, welcome to the board. I have, it's just a question, like on top of this paperwork we get, board vacancies, one unlimited contractor, and then you got 3 public members. So are we actively looking still, Chuck, for what do you want us to follow here? I mean, if we come
Well,
across
we
a public
definitely-
member that we think it,
Yeah, we need public members, that's for sure. I believe with the 2 appointments today brings Jim Pickley's replacement here and Chris Bowman's appointments. Both of those letters that I received from the governor's office yesterday morning early. In fact, Mr. Policia succeeds Chris Bowman, and Chip Pember succeeds Jim Pickley. So those were the 2 names. We do need public members. As far as unlimited contractors, I believe we're full there.
Yeah, that looks to
Okay.
be right. So would you like me to remove unlimited contractors as the vacancies and leave the 3 public members?
Yeah, that makes sense. We are looking, actively. It's, as you know, it's very difficult to find. I think everybody's looking to find people to serve on boards and commissions in Connecticut. It's coming out of COVID now. It's probably even harder, but we still have to, reach out to people that we know, every one of us here, and obviously the governor's staff too, to try to find people. I will talk to Mr. Scanlon, who chairs the commissions, boards and commissions, and see if they can find anybody as well. There's certain criteria that's required for that position. So I've been working with the governor's office in the past year. There is 1 additional contractor member name in there. There's a couple that want to participate as well. So we do have plenty of contractor members that want to participate with the board. So with that said, though, we should be out looking for public members too. We have Melissa, but we need 3 more.
We have a hand up, Chuck.
Oh, sorry about that. Felix.
Hi, Mr. Chairman. I'm actually not a license holder and I want to become. I actually have reached out to I apologize, DCP already, and I also contact Karen, and a couple emails went out and nothing has happened. So I'm trying to get into your board as a public member.
As a public member, okay. So what we would need then would be a resume. Your resume. Once you become, I believe, a contractor or a journey person, you're trying to become a journey person, or you're trying to become a contractor, licensed individual in the state of Connecticut, or just looking for the board position?
Just a board position.
Okay, very good. So if you, do you have a resume available, made up already?
Not really, but yes, I can make one.
So if you could do that, if you could forward it to Shannon Rivera, she'll give you her contact information, and then we can forward that off to the governor's office.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay,
I'll get a hold of her after the meeting.
well, thank you, Felix.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have her contact information, Felix?
No, I can email her on the link right now, I believe.
Okay, yep.
You
please
have
do.
my email?
No, I do not.
It's my name, Shannon, SHANNON
Okay,
.rivera@ct.gov. I'm not sure if I would be the one to forward that to I'll find out who would handle that. Just email the resume and I'll get it to where it needs to go. So that
Okay.
it can get to the governor's office, okay?
okay, will do.
All righty.
So,
Thank you, Phil.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Peter.
so are they gonna send us out like what's required, the requirements to being a public member on the plumbing board? So if we come and run across somebody that we think
Yeah, you
would,
send a yep, you send a resume in, and you can certainly put your name in as a recommendation on that, and hand it to me. I can forward it off, just in case, like Felix's situation here. I can pass that along to the governor's office as well, for consideration.
okay.
But I know you
And then I
can't.
have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When are we gonna start going in person? Meeting in person like we used to?
That would be a question for, I would say Cynthia, or perhaps Leslie's not here, or the commissioner. So I'm not sure when, if they're going to start the the in-person meetings anymore or not. I'm not sure where that stands right now personally myself.
Okay,
So I can ask, I don't think there is a specific bar to having in-person meetings at this point, but I'm really honestly not sure. I can ask and let you all know.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Sure.
I know that's been brought up, I believe, in other boards too. I don't
Right.
think the first time Peter or Cynthia, that this has been discussed, so. And then how many, just for the, how many board members would like to see us back in person in Hartford for these meetings? You just want to raise your hand, or how many would be interested? Okay, we got 1, 2.
I'm okay either way. I think it might be easier to get board members if we continue Zoom. So even if we have it in person, will we have a Zoom feature? Since we're trying to get people, it's hard when people are working during the day. I could do either, but I do like the Zoom feature.
Yeah.
As a board coordinator, in my short time in the position, it just seems that quorums are fairly easier to be met in the virtual hosting, because it's more convenient. So whether that's true with everyone, I'm not sure. I haven't dealt with all of the boards yet, so that's entirely up to each individual board, but they are inquiring.
Yeah, like myself, I would do both, because the trip to Hartford is an hour up and an hour back for me, and then add the time of the meeting. It just adds to my day as well when you're trying to run a business, and especially now after COVID, where so many different companies are retiring and we're just hiring more people, and I need to be in the office more. So, but that's just me. I still think I can run the meeting from either direction.
Yeah, and with replies to meetings too, it gets a little last minute, so it's not always confirmed that there's quorum until the very last minute. So it'd be unfortunate for board members to travel in only to find that there's not a quorum. So it would be definitely much more important for replies to the invite if that were to go forward, in person. Okay.
Yeah, we should have at least a couple days notice. I know things change for people, but like it's easy for me to be that hour and a half right here now, jump back in the truck and get back out to the field. So versus having to go home and change and then go back in again, it's just kind of crazy. But I think we can all work this out amongst us all, right, guys? Yeah, ladies. Yep.
Yeah, I think if we do a hybrid, I mean, it works either way. I mean, a lot of boards I'm on right now, they do both, and depends on everybody's schedule. If they can make it, they go. If they can't, then there's no reason not to have a quorum if there's a Zoom link.
And Melissa, you have taken these meetings and have gone into rest areas on your way into Fairfield County just to make the meeting for us, to make the quorum. And we appreciate that. Last month I was with the hearings going on, the CE hearings, I was at a parking lot outside Bradley International Airport doing the meeting. So that way that didn't, jeopardize the meeting. I had to get somebody at the airport, and I was able to do it in the parking lot and still make the incoming flight for that individual. So it worked out really well, having the iPad or an iPhone, Okay. Do we have any other comments or concerns? Vinny, thank you. Go ahead, Vin.
First, congratulations to Joe and Chip. I always see them here at the Skills USA. They've always been so very active in the VOTEC system. Two of the most outstanding teachers I've ever worked with. So I know they'd be great board members too. And congratulations to John in his position. Very strong candidate, I'm sure. Very active, kind of a bulldog actually. So I'm glad he'll be doing a lot of these tasks that need to get done. Regarding meeting in person, I'm okay either way. If someone could invent a 32-hour day, that would be helpful. Melissa's point about hybrid, we have our apprentice committee meetings in a hybrid fashion, and that's worked, and also to have quorums. With the Zoom, there's been some, not anybody's fault, but always, technology issues with respondents, realizing they need to be on camera, and so there's pluses and minuses to both, but I'm willing to go either way the consensus goes.
That's a good point, Vinny. Shannon, too, when we have participants in front of the boards, we need to probably let them know that they, when they're on, that they need to be able, we need to see their face. We need to see who they are when they're participating in a meeting, for sure. Before, when you're communicating with these individuals, that would be great.
Okay, I'll let them know.
And this is new for you
So
too.
far, it's been pretty, it's worked out where they can be seen. I haven't yet experienced, participants unable at this time. Like I said, I've been in the position for a short period.
Right, and you'll get you'll get it. We had a CE meeting a couple weeks ago, and we kept losing individuals because they're calling in from job sites. They're
Gotcha.
calling. There's communication tower issues, whatever. It takes a meeting from it should be a half an hour, 45 minutes into an hour and a half process, and that's what Vinny's saying. We're having. So if we could, when we do talk with these people before they get to us, before they even get on the agenda, to let them know that, it'd be important. I mean, we are running the meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning. No reason why they can't stay home and get on a computer versus being in a, you know, they're trying to express what they're trying to do with the board, which we appreciate, but communication's everything for sure, you know?
Okay,
Thanks.
gotcha.
Is there anything else? So Melissa, thank you.
I just want to talk about the technology and the meeting invites. Shannon, thank you for putting the meeting invite, the link in the meeting invite. So that was helpful.
Yeah,
And
that's the only way I was taught, so.
oh, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So everybody noticed, Pete, maybe yours wasn't in there. I just sent it to you.
Right.
But so if everybody knows to look in there, that wasn't happening before you, Shannon. So that was very confusing for all of us
Oh.
on where to find the link.
The
And
only
then-
time you're gonna receive any, an email from me is like to remind you to reply to the invite that was sent prior. Or if there's, like, I resent it because we had the new members and a lot of new documents, but I may send new documents separately from the invite as well. But if anyone does not receive the link in their invite, definitely let me know, because that's easily copied and put into an email. And Peter, did you get that this morning when I resent
Yes.
it to you?
Yes,
All right.
yes, I did. And I,
Alright.
and thank you both, Melissa and Shannon, for sending them to me.
All right. As long
That's
as
why
you
I'm
received it, I'm
computer-
not sure why the first time you didn't, but I mean, anything can happen.
So for
Yeah,
the
I don't know
board,
either.
when she sends the meeting invite, just check and make sure the link's in there when you're accepting it. And if it's not, email her. And then I think the protocols moving forward is going to be just accept, decline the meeting invite, right?
Yeah,
So
in the
that way that
upper,
you'll know that.
right?
Now,
it
so
has-
this wasn't happening before. So for in the board's defense, there
Okay.
it was pretty disjointed. So
You
Right.
know, I'm just kind of taking,
no, it's good. The way you did it was
you
good.
know, okay, good. Just so everyone knows, in that upper right corner of the invite, there's, I believe it's a green check mark, add
X,
a
red X.
question mark, or an
Right.
X. So you
So
click
that'll
whatever
tell
one you
her
want.
whether or not we have a quorum or not. So thanks. Yes, the way you did it was fine. We just haven't had that consistency prior to
Right.
this. So thank
Okay,
you.
good. Thank you.
Our next meeting is going to be January 26th for 23. So everybody knows. So we're already passing Christmas, New Year. We're going to be into 23 at the end of it. Imagine that for our next board meeting. And here we are in the middle of October. That's a long window, isn't it? It's a long window. So January 26th, put that on your calendars. That way we can definitely, I know it's a lot of time out there. So we're not sure how many board members or might be on vacation or whatever. So, but as we get closer, definitely on the invite, let us know if we have a quorum, for a quorum.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
Do
Sounds
we,
like a
do we
plan.
still have any more hearings to do?
That'd be a question for Cynthia. Yeah. Cynthia.
Are you referring to the CE hearings?
Yes.
Right, there may be about 10 to 12 left. I have to go through the whole original list and confirm the status of each individual case. I just haven't had a chance to get to that, but there aren't a ton left. I'll put it that way. There's a dozen or less.
A dozen or less? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Great. I sent out Paulette had sent out quite a few decisions and stuff. I signed them and returned them to Hartford week 10 days ago already. So we're caught up on that. That's pretty much it for today. Does anybody have any further questions? If not, can I have a vote to end this meeting? To a motion to end the meeting?
Motion
I'll
to
make the
adjourn.
motion. I'll second.
Okay, did Peter make that motion?
Yes.
Okay, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
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 Noes? Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody.
Well,
Again,
happy holidays, everyone, since we won't see you until
Yeah.
January.
Merry
Holy cow.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New
Yeah.
Year.